Ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing out there? This is your boy, Stevie Ray. I am back. Now, I know there has been a lot of chatter out there as to what happened with Stand Up for Greatness. Well, I'm here to tell you what happened. What happened is we had a few technical difficulties. A few technical difficulties that was out of my hands. And that's what happens when you let a boy do a man's job. That's what happens. On top of all of that, I just have to come out and say it. My co-host, Mr. Matt Petoskey. Well, I gotta let you guys in on a little something. As a matter of fact, before I even get into that, do you know, I didn't even put anything out that I was going to be on tonight and I was coming back tonight. Because I'm coming back in the same way I went out. So if any of you guys are out there listening, any of you guys are out there wondering, any of you guys out there suspecting what happened with Stand Up for Greatness, Stand Up for Greatness is going to be here as long as I'm here. Now let's get back to my co-host, Mr. Matt Petoskey, who messes up more things than a little bit. I know I'm hard on him. Even some of the comments, a lot of you guys saying, Stevie, don't be so hard on Matt. You know what I thought about it? And you know the conclusion I came up with? It's for his own good. That's what I thought. But check it out. I got some bad news about Mr. Matt Petoskey. Mr. Matt Petoskey, a few weeks ago, this is one of the reasons we had to take a hiatus for a moment. Mr. Petoskey is suffering from a mental exhaustion. Yes, he couldn't take the heat. Things got a little bit too hot for him. I think it was you people that hit him on Twitter, that said bad things about him, that said, you know, disparaging things about him, and he couldn't take it. At least that's what I'm thinking. That is what some of the doctors have told me. The man, in essence, suffered a nervous breakdown. That is why I am here today enlightening the audience that has been walking lockstep with me and Stand Up for Greatness since day one. That is what I'm telling you. Your boy, Mr. Matt Petoskey, had a nervous breakdown. Now, Mr. Petoskey himself, he had to put himself, and I think his family put him in a hospital here, a hospital by the name of Ben Taub. So, any of his fans out there, the few that he has, if you want to try to get in contact with him, you can try to call Ben Taub Hospital. Ben Taub, Taub Hospital. I think he's in room 235. Mental exhaustion. That is what this business can do to people. Mental exhaustion. You see, things like that could never happen to your boy. You know why? Because your boy been through the gambit, brother. Your boy has been all over the world. Your boy came up in the streets. Stuff like that, it doesn't bother me. And I try to relay that to him, but he doesn't get it. He's soft. But we're praying for him. And if you want to get in contact with him, there he is right there. Did we get a good shot of him? There he is right there. You know, look at the smile on his face. Look how he aged. The man has aged some 30, 40 years. You know, there he is right there. He's laying in Ben Taub trying to talk to the little young lady that's trying to get his blood pressure. That's him right there. But hey, you know, but if you want to get in contact with him, at Matt Petoskey, that is his Twitter. From what I've talked to some of his family members, and I think he's able now, after being in the hospital for a couple of weeks, I think he's able to answer some of his Twitter, on his Twitter feed, some of his Twitter followers asking questions, and you know, if they haven't been getting in contact with him. At Matt Petoskey, that's P-O-P-L-S-K-I, Petoskey. As a matter of fact, I didn't even know that's the way he spells his last name. But since we've gotten that out the way now, let's get to the things that are really on the docket. WrestleCade, November 25th. Pre-sale tickets are on sale right now. Pre-sale tickets, WrestleCade. I want everybody to come holler at your boy at WrestleCade because I will be there doing my thing. Now, we had scheduled Stand Up for Greatness to be there on the 24th. The promoters messed us out of that deal. It was beyond my control. But I promise you, by January, we'll have everything together. They tried to take us out of the big room, of which we had booked, and tried to put us in the little room. Well, you know, Stand Up for Greatness, you know, we the big daddy. We the big daddy show. We're not the little daddy show. Not the 75 people show, 75 seats. I needed the 200 seats. But okay, we're going to let it slide this time. Because for one reason, I think it was Vince Russo. I think Vince Russo was so afraid to come and meet me, face to face, on stage, that the man wimped out, and I think it had something to do with us losing our room that we had booked. And I'm putting this on Vince Russo, that low down, dirty, rotten scoundrel, black-hearted person that he is. And I'm not through with Vince Russo. I want him to see this. I know he's watching right now. You know why I know? Because Vince Russo watches everything I do. He's trying to take notes. Well, Vince, I'm talking to you, sucker, and I'm coming for you, sucker. Yeah, I'm going to get you back on my show, and on top of that, I'm going to come back on your show. It ain't over, punk. It ain't over. I'm letting you know that right now. But ladies and gentlemen, that's what went down. Been a few things going on. They've given my man a nervous breakdown. They've taken my live show and got it canceled. So when people mess with Stevie Ray like that, yeah, you got another thing coming, sucker. Because Stevie Ray ain't no punk. I'm coming for you. And I'm going to take care of everything because I care about the fans. The fans that have been supporting this show. As a matter of fact, in the few months that we've been on the air, few months, Stand Up for Greatness, it's number 195 on iTunes. In a few months. You know why? Because we give you the good content. We tell you the real stories. We tell you the funny stories. We approach professional wrestling and all other subjects in a way that nobody else can do. Because that is what we do. And I'm proud of it. And it hits me right here that the fans support us like that. And the people hit me on Facebook. And the people hit me on Instagram. And they're telling me how much they like the show. I appreciate that. Even though we still have the trolls of the world out there. We still have people out there acting like a Hulk Hogan with a above ground pool in his backyard. We still have people like that, you know, the Mike Grahams of the world or whatever they want to call themselves. I'm not letting you off the hook, sucker. I want everybody to see what kind of piece of crap that you really are. But hey, I appreciate that you do watch the show though, because you're giving me material to work with. I need that material. So keep it coming. The naysayers, I love you. Keep it coming because it gives me something to talk about. That's what this show is all about. We'll take anything and make it into the show. That's what we do. Now, I got a few other things I want to talk about. My man's in the hospital. Hopefully he'll be getting out soon. We don't know if he's going to be coming back to the show. Me and Mr. Producer have been discussing that. I don't know if this show, I don't know if he can handle it. I don't know what his mental aptitude will be. I really don't know. We're going to see when he gets out of the hospital. That's if he ever gets out of the hospital. We don't know. We're going to address that. And if not, you know, your boy just might be doing the show by himself. You know, and I know you heard me tell him that I was looking for somebody else to do the show. I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But hey, man, you know, this is a tough gimmick. It's a tough job. Anybody can't do it. But it is what it is. If I'm here by myself or if I have to get a new co-host, if anybody out there knows anybody in the greater Houston area that might be a good co-host for myself, hey man, hit your boy up, let me know what's up. And hey, I'll look into that. But we got a few other things I need to talk about. And like I said, WrestleCade. We're going to be there. I'm going to be there. Also, Bruce Pritchard is going to be there. Also, who else do we have there? We have Sabu. He's going to be there signing, and a few. Who was that? Deborah McMichael.
No.
Who is that? I Dream of Jeannie.
Melissa Coates.
Oh, Melissa Coates. Is she going to be at the table with us? Okay. And is that Ivy Robin is going to be there? Ivy Robin and who's this? Kylie?
Kylie Ray.
Kylie Ray. That's Kylie Ray. Now, Ivy Robin and Kylie Ray, they are two standout female competitors from Reality of Wrestling, of which me, Mr. Producer, and even Matt Petoskey are all involved with. And we're going to be bringing this kind of talent along with Bruce Pritchard. Look at that smile on his face, a brother love wannabe. We're going to be bringing him, all of us, we're going to be signing, we're going to be doing what we do, which is being there for the fans. And not only that, I am going to be interviewing a few people at a live show. So don't be surprised if some of the fans, we come up to some of the fans that is watching Stand Up for Greatness and we put you in front of the camera because we really want to hear what you got to say. You just make sure you say what you're supposed to say when the camera's on. Don't waste my film, please. Don't do that because I'm going to be standing right there asking you the questions. Be who you are. Be straight, because we shoot it straight. Stand Up for Greatness is what we call this show, and that is what it's all about. Title Match Wrestling, TitleMatchWrestling.com. We bring the stars. We make the best shows. Mr. Producer, did you know we were 195 on iTunes? Did you know that? He said yes. 195. How many people can say that in 4 months, 4.5 months time? How many people? That means we don't play around. Title Match Wrestling. They bring the stars. They bring the special guests. WrestleCade weekend. 24th, 25. That's when we'll be there. November 24th, November 25th. Friday and Saturday. We were going to be there Sunday. A couple of people might be there Sunday. I'm not 100% sure. As you well know, that is what we do. But at the end of the day, I am going to be there. That's all I care about. I'm going to be there for the fans. And the fans are my people, as you well know. But going back to things that were on the docket, we got a few things out the way. We had a few technical difficulties. We got them out the way now. Straight shooting. Stevie Ray, that is what they call me. Stand Up for Greatness is what they call the show. The show is coming back, and we're going to add some new layers to the show. What we're going to start doing is after, might be a pay-per-view from WWE, might be a pay-per-view from TNA, might be a pay-per-view from some of the other wrestling organizations out there. We're going to do a live show, might be a pre-show, might be a post-show. Get ready for that, and everybody's going to be able to chime in. Not only that, we are going to be getting a phone number for fans to call in live, and you can talk to myself or whatever other co-host I have. At this time, we don't know. You can talk to us. We're going to be doing that. We're going to have more in-depth interviews with some of your favorite wrestlers and some of your favorite people from the boxing game, from the MMA game, and everything in between. Stand Up for Greatness is not just about professional wrestling. Stand Up for Greatness is about professional sports and professional people. Because that's the way I roll, and those are the kind of people I hang around. So if we bring in professional football players, professional basketball players, MMA guys, boxers, they're going to be here. And we're going to let you know. The show is going to the next level, if not the stratosphere. That is Stand Up for Greatness. And I dare anybody to try to keep up with us. You know what? I accept the challenge. Because it's going to be on, we like a steaming pot of neck bones, brother, when we get through. We at 195 right now. Give me another 3-4 months. We'll be at 100. If you stand with me. And I want to tell you something. I appreciate everybody out there standing with me. And if you guys, we already have it set up now. If you guys want to donate tips to help us stay on, because I want to bring you the best professional content known to man, that is what we're going to do. Mr. Producer, I've had a long talk with him. Like one of our last shows, Mr. Producer messed up when I was telling one of my best stories, Who Tells Stories Like Me. And I was telling a story about Dusty Rhodes, and Mr. Producer messed it up, and a lot of people got angry about it. Well, I took it upon myself to have a long talk with him, a long sit down about his inequities. That's what I did, and he's gotten them together. So that won't be happening again. But hey, like I said, it's going to be on like a steaming by the neck bone. If you want to help us with tips, if you want to help us to donations, go to Title Match Wrestling, and you can do that, because we want to bring the best live shows. We want to bring the best content before and after pay-per-views, and we want to bring the best interviews of professionalism, professional athletes out there, because I know a lot of people, bro, and that's the way we're going to roll. Mr. Producer, have we covered everything?
Season 1, Title Match Wrestling Network.
All right. Season 1, Title Match Wrestling Network. Hey, write that down. Title Match Wrestling Network, Season 1. We're coming out the box. And my man, Matt Petoskey, don't forget, he's in Ben Taub. Room 235. Why don't y'all holler at him, kind of lift his spirits a little bit. He had a nervous breakdown, which the doctor said he was suffering from mental exhaustion. Maybe the guy was doing too much, I don't know. But hey, you keep up with the big dogs. If you can't keep up with the big dogs, get off the porch. And everybody out there knows what I mean. Just get on off the porch and let the big dogs take care of everything. Title Match Wrestling. Hey man, we got any call-ins, anything out there? Any, you know, I want to address a couple of people. You know, wait a minute, Chet Michaels. No one cares about that, Jabron. You're right. You're right. They don't. George White, Amesh looks horrible now. Wait a minute, I haven't seen Amesh. What does he look like? Somebody told me that he was in a wheelchair or something like that. I really don't know that. He had an appearance a few weeks ago and he didn't show up, from what my brother was telling me. Grant Peoples III, Harlem Heat for life. Hey man, I appreciate that. Harlem Heat for life. You know how we do it. You know, booked versus a bookend versus a walk bottom. Hey, that was a good match, man. Hey, they laid it down. You know, I miss WCW. Grant Peoples. Shit, I do too, brother. Hey, that was a hell of a paycheck, bro. You know, it was on like a steaming pot of neck, bro. Wait a minute, Todd Belchler. Disco Inferno always had a great match. I'll tell him that, because I don't agree with you 100%, but I will tell him that, you know. But you and Book should be 25th anniversary of Raw. Hey, I appreciate that. I didn't even know they had a 25th anniversary coming up, you know. What are your thoughts on Tony Atlas? Did you like him? Yeah, man, me and Tony pretty cool, man. You know, me and my brother always wanted to wrestle him and Rocky Johnson. And I've told him that, you know, in different things, because we really admired those guys. You know, Steiner Brothers in their prime versus Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle. Would have been a great match. A bunch of Greco-Roman wrestlers throwing each other all over the match. I tell you that. Would have been great to see. Would you ever go to WWE and wrestle? No, I would not. No, I would not. I don't think I have. I might have one more match in me, but hey, I don't know what I would do with it. You know. Yeah, him and Rocky Johnson were really good. Yeah, you're right about that. Did you watch Mid-South? Oh man, I love it. What you talking about? Who is that? Alvin Smith?
Alvin Smith.
Alvin Smith, man. Mid-South Wrestling put more stars in professional wrestling all over the world than any other organization in the history of wrestling. Believe that. Believe that. Mid-South was the best wrestling on earth to me. I loved it. Describe your relationship with Ahmed Johnson. My relationship with Ahmed Johnson, I mean, we're cool. I don't know where a lot of this bullshit is coming from. I mean, we did a thing on the show where we were talking about Ahmed Johnson forgetting some spots in the match. And it was just satire because that's what I do on this show. And a bunch of people out there in internet land turned it into something else. And then he did an interview, you know, with a rhetorical, and he retorted it saying that he did that because of his ill will toward my brother, which is, you know, bullshit. And you don't do things like that. So I don't appreciate if that was true or something like that, because you're kind of disrespecting the business. But as far as my relationship with him, last time I talked to him, you know, we was cool. We don't talk very often because I'm doing my thing, he's doing his thing. But I hope that answered your question. Stevie, what are your thoughts on Dave Meltzer? I don't have any thoughts on Dave Meltzer. I've never met the man. I don't know the man. I don't, you know, I know he's like a cheap sheet writer or whatever like that. But man, I don't give a shit about things like that or people like that. And a few things we want to address are some things that someone asked me, like you guys are doing right now. They asked me about Terry Taylor, and I gave them my assessment on Terry Taylor. And somebody wrote an article on it and made it about the WWE and took it to the WWE. I can't remember who wrote the article, but the article was really not, you know, favorable to what I was talking about. Yes, I said some disparaging things about Terry Taylor. Yes, that was pretty much, you know, at the moment I was talking about it, it was kind of a raw emotion. But, you know, on this show, I really apologize for raw emotion sometimes, because sometimes I'll say things that I really don't need to be saying. And because, who knows, a lot of young people watch this show and things of that nature. But the thing about Terry Taylor was real, and that's really how I felt. But I never meant, it was a question that was asking me about something from 20, 22, 23 years ago. Not today. I don't know how he is today. The question was from 20 some odd years ago. And that's how I addressed it. But it got turned into something else in some article out there. That Stevie Ray said that so-and-so was the most rated, and he's in the WWE. It had nothing to do with WWE. So please, don't take things like that out of context. And it might be a few other things that I had raw emotions about. And I may have rubbed people the wrong way with my raw emotions and some of the things I said. And I look back on it now and I kind of regret it, because that's not me. I got a little bit more feelings than that. But at the time, and this show was just starting, and I'm the kind of person that gets angry very easily. I have a temper sometimes. And some of the things that hit a nerve, I'll say the first thing that comes out of my mouth. And if I offended somebody, I apologize, because we don't really want those kind of things on the show. The show is not about those kind of things. It's about having fun and addressing you people, the fans. And that's what we're going to continue to do. And I just really wanted to get that out there. What else do we have here? I seen something about Russo.
Oh, yeah.
I think something about Russo. What about that black-hearted Stevie? Who was the worst smelling? I don't. What was that? Now, what court? Who was the worst smelling scum bitch you ever? Hell, I don't know. Check Mike, because Deborah wrote this bitch. Really? Wait a minute. Go back. Did I see Tony Vella? He's a friend of mine.
Let me check.
I could have swore I saw his name.
It's going too fast.
Yeah. Todd Beach, or maybe the two websites become you call her. What was that? You need two webcams before I call you. Stevie, what is Wildcat's title? Stevie is the Wildcat. The Wildcat title, hey, it was what it was. The Wildcat title, you know, I held that title for quite some time. It was close to 6 months. You know, they thought I didn't have anything in the tank, and I went down there and I slapped Jack Shane Taylor on top of his head a couple of times. You know, guy was suffering from delusions of grandeur, if you will, and I had to put him in his place. And Shane, he'll tell you that. And if I see him, I might slap Jack him again. You know, I think he's working with Ring of Honor now. If it wasn't for me, he wouldn't be in Ring of Honor. They seen how he worked with me. They gave him a job. That's what Stevie Ray did. I upped his status. So that's what happened with that. When people, Global Wrestling Fan was a great fan. Hey man, I loved Global. We had a good time in Global. I had the most fun in my career in Global. It was fun working there every week with so many professionals, so many top guys, and they really took care of us up there, man. And we'll always be indebted to Global Wrestling, man. That's our home, brother. Downtown Dallas, Texas, the Global Dome. Hey, Stevie, who you got in the De La Hoya McGregor? Oh, De La Hoya McGregor. You heard about that, huh? Now De La Hoya wants to fight Conor McGregor. Can you believe this? First of all, and he says he can beat Conor McGregor in 2 rounds. Well, I'm going to tell you who I got. If De La Hoya can't beat a guy that fights like a 15-year-old girl that just got off the bus, fighting another 15-year-old girl with penny loafers on and cotton bobby socks and polka dot dresses and throwing punches like this, if De La Hoya can't beat that guy, then Oscar De La Hoya should go back to wearing those silk stockings that he had on in the picture. That's what happened. And rehab. That's real. That's really real. What is your favorite hip-hop album? My favorite hip-hop album is probably one of the Public Enemy albums. I used to love Public Enemy and Chuck D. It's probably an album for Do the Right Thing. The Do the Right Thing album. That's probably my favorite hip-hop album. I'm not a big proponent of hip-hop. I'm a big proponent of the old hip-hop. I'm not a big proponent of the hip-hop today because it says nothing. It's socially stagnated and it's full of, whatever it is. But I'm a big proponent of the old hip-hop that really said something, that really had a message, that really was socially, gifted to the masses. And I love that because that's the kind of person I am. It's hard for me to listen to nothing that says nothing, that equals nothing. It's hard for me to do that. But to each his own. Stevie, have you thought about bringing a comedian on the show? Comedian, also a wrestling fan. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. And one of my best friends, he's going to be coming on the show. I'm glad you said that. Brother, we're going to be having so many different, we're going to be having actresses on the show, actors on the show. We're going to be having comedians on the show, football players, basketball players. We're going to go through the whole gambit. I'm going to put this out here right now. Stand Up for Greatness is not just a wrestling show. Stand Up for Greatness is an internet show, period. It's not a podcast anymore. We started off as a podcast, but as we've grown, we're going to grow into something bigger and better than what everybody else is out there doing, because I know people in every walk of life, and I'm going to get them on the show for you guys to grill them. If you don't like it, eat them up. If you like them, show the appreciation, because that is what the entertainment business is all about. We're here to entertain, bro. We're here to entertain. We're here to, that's why we've talked about 9/11 on this show. We've talked about JFK on this show. We've talked about some of the mass shootings on this show. We've talked about politics on this show. We've talked about everything on the show, because we think the audience out there has the mental aptitude to handle these kind of conversations. Even if you are a wrestling fan or any other kind of fans, let's chime in. Let's talk about it, brother. That's what's wrong with the world today. Nobody wants to sit down and talk to each other. Well, I want to talk. That's what I do. I love to talk. So let's be about it and let's talk about it. Let's make it happen. We can all do it together. Make the world a better place. That's what I'm talking about. What other hard body? Man, we gave all kind of thoughts on hard body Harrison. Let's leave him be for a second, MLK Ultra on the show. You know what? I want to tackle that. I do want to tackle that because a lot of people don't know anything about it. I'm glad you mentioned that. I can't remember who that was. Aaron Smith, Booker T on the show. Yeah, we might get calls in from Booker. We might do that. Favorite R&B singers. Man, I got 10,000 favorite R&B singers, man. I mean, people got to realize, I come from the security business. Me and Ahmed Johnson actually used to own our own security company together. We got to see all the greats And when I was coming up here in Houston, I got to see all the greats. Ed is actually from Florida, and so I really don't know who he's seen. But I, as a kid, elementary school, junior high, we went to concerts to see everybody. You name them, I've seen them. Whether it be rock and roll or R&B, I've seen them all, brother. I've seen the greats, Hall of Famers, and I got so many favorites. I don't even know who they are. Were you an ECW? Were you a fan of ECW? Yeah, I was a big fan of ECW. Huge fan of ECW. I wasn't a fan of ECW when WCW started hiring in and putting them over on the WCW guys. I wasn't a fan of that because I thought that was bad business, but nothing toward the workers. This was toward the office, you know, not the guys. Because like I've said, me and Rocco Rock were very good friends, man. I miss that guy, man. Me and Rocco hung out a lot, man, behind the scenes, man. And every time the word ECW goes across my mind, I think about it, man. He's no longer with us. And he was my boy, man. He was my boy, man. And damn, boy, I miss him, bro. But, hey, he's in a better place now. Could you be a Howard Stern whack packer? Me? Fuck no. The fuck I look like? Do I look like I'm fucking half crazy? I'm fucking living on welfare or some shit like that? You kidding me, man? I was Stern whack packer. Don't fucking insult me like that. Who the fuck was that? Back that bitch up. Who the fuck was that? Why could I be a fucking whack packer? No, I would come on Howard Stern's show and I would take over that fucking show. That's what would happen if he had me on there. You better believe that. How do you get a slapjack? That's a secret. I can't tell you that. Wait a minute, George Bryce. Go back. What was that? Sorry. George Bryce. I saw. George Bryce, I know. Favorite hip hop artist. Yeah, I do agree with hip hop today. I don't think favorite is the old school. Favorite hip hop artist today? My favorite hip hop artist today. I would probably have to say Eminem. I like Eminem. He still has some of that old school flavor in a new school type way. I think the guy's a genius. How he can put things together, how he can put words together, and how he's so social conscious towards certain things. And that's what I missed about. That's what an artist should really be, socially conscious by certain things. And whereas you can put it out there and open people's minds up. Art, it should be about open a person's mind. And if you don't use art to open a person's mind, then you just using art to make a buck. Which I guess is nothing wrong with that, but art should be bigger than that. When a guy writes a song that's socially conscious and it makes you think and it makes the masses think how to be a better place, that's true art. Anybody can sing about how many bitches you fucked. Anybody can sing about how many cars you got. Anybody can sing about how much money you might have for a couple of days and then it's fucking gone. That's the easiest shit in the world. The hardest shit in the world is to put lyrics together to make people think about where they are, who they are, and what they want to be, and how they want to be a part of the solution and not the problem. That is true art. Don't you ever fucking forget that. What else do we have? Why don't you ever talk about Sid? I have talked about it. If he's talking about Sid Vicious, I've talked about Sid Vicious on my show many times. And who was that? Chet Michaels? That fucking Chet Michaels. Chet Michaels, okay, let me get your ass straight right now. Chet Michaels, I have talked about Sid Vicious on this show many times. Sid Vicious, I chronicled how he helped us get into the business. I chronicled that, and I've said that in 10,000 interviews, not just on this show, but on many other shows. The thing is, I don't have a lot of good stories about Sid, so I try to pride myself on the stories that people want to hear, and the stories that are pretty funny and things of that nature. And I remember talking about Sid Vicious and the Shockmaster thing. We talked about that forever. So what more do you want to hear, Chet? I tell you what, man, why don't you tell me what you want me to talk about with Sid, and we'll go from there. Why don't we do that? Let's do that. Any good Iron Sheik stories? Okay. Yes, I got a good Sheik. I got a good Sheik story. But I don't know if I should waste it tonight because the show tonight is really not about telling stories, because we were just trying to chronicle some of the things that happened in the past and why the show was not on anymore, and I want to get that out there. But I told a story about the Iron Sheik and the marijuana thing when we were in the Virgin Islands. I did tell that one, so go back and look at some of the past episodes when I did talk about it. You can look at the clip. It's making me laugh right now, but Iron Sheik is my boy, man. Me and my brother and the Iron Sheik rode all over the Virgin Islands together one time. That was the same story when I told you we got ran off the island. Check Michaels called you. What was that? Check Michaels called me a dumb nigga. Well, I might be a nigga, but I'm not a dumb nigga, Check. And proud of it, for your information. I'm not going to say what I would call you on the air, but once I start looking up your comments, I'll tell you then. What else we got? Stevie, did WWF during 2001? Go back on that one. Stevie, why did you never go to WWF during the WWF buy? Did you talk? Did he ever talk to you, and did you ever regret? I've chronicled that. Why do I keep getting that fucking question, man? I've talked about that shit 1,000 times. I didn't want to go to WWE or WWF. I didn't want to go. I went overseas for 3.5 years. And I loved it. I was tired of fucking getting up every fucking morning and somebody telling me what to fucking do every fucking day. I'm not built like my brother. I'm a little bit more rebellious than my brother. A lot of people think we as brothers, we got the same likes, dislikes, wants, and things like that. I was done with WCW. After everything that we did to get WCW to the level that it did, that we had to bow down like pussies when they supposedly bought the company, and then, you know, I felt a part of something special. And I have nothing against WWE. I mean, that's business. They do what they want. But I just didn't want to be a part of it. That's all. I didn't want to be a part of it. So I went overseas. I took the ticket that they sent me to go to the last show. I turned it into 2 tickets. And me and a buddy of mine, we went out to Vegas and watched the Lennox Lewis and Evander Holyfield fight with a friend of mine, a female friend of mine who met us there. That's what I did. I had a good fucking time in Vegas. So please, I hope nobody asks me that shit anymore. No disrespect, but I appreciate the question though. 4 Horsemen or NWO? NWO sucker, because I was a part of it. What you talking about? 4 Horsemen had more ex-4 Horsemen than they had 4 Horsemen. They was worse than the Temptations. It was more ex-4 Horsemen than 4 Horsemen. Come on, man. Really? Stevie, please forgive the white race for idiots like Chet. We don't want him either. So he hates the world. Hey, I appreciate that, Stone 420. But hey, man, it's always going to be people out there. I mean, for some reason or another, people think calling a black man, especially a black man like myself, a nigga, hurts me. It doesn't hurt me. It makes me feel fucking good that you can even spell the fucking word nigga. Nigga. Chet Michaels. Because if I'm a nigga, you a nigga too. So how you like it? Anyway, yeah. Blake, 1980, what's up, Stevie? Ray, been a long time fan. Hey, man, I appreciate it, brother. And like I said, stay tuned. Stevie, have you ever seen a UFO? I may have seen one when I was drunk and didn't know. I may have talked to an alien and didn't even know, you know. So, you know, in this wrestling business, do some strange things to you, brother. So, I don't know. Can you get Teddy Long on the show? We're going to try to get Teddy Long on the show. Like I said, I've had a lot of these people on my radio show, and a lot of people don't know that I do a radio show in Houston. I don't do it anymore because I want to concentrate more on the podcast because I'm not, you know, regulated by the FCC and all this kind of stuff. And I've had so many people. If you go back and look up Straight Shooting with Stevie Ray 92.9 FM HD2, you know, we were going to put a lot of the interviews and start downloading a lot of them on YouTube, but we're not going to do them now. We might just save a lot of them and put them on the title match network, and you guys can pull them up and see them because, man, I had some of the best. You'll see, because we're gonna get some of those same people on this show. Then we can really let loose. And I ain't got to worry about no boss man saying, Stevie, you can't say this, and Stevie, you can't say that, and things of that nature. I can say whatever I want. So stay tuned. Stevie, are you a flat earther? Hell no, brother. Then again, you know, things do make me think. So, as of right now, Hall of Fame is the go-to tag teams. I like that. I appreciate that, bro. You know.
That's all.
Huh? APA versus Harlem Heat. We eat them like collard greens. But it'll be a good match. Damn good match. Stevie Ray is one of the greatest. Hey, I appreciate that, bro. Doug Dillinger, asshole. I'm going to tell you something about Doug Dillinger, man. The guy was always cool with me. Now I know Doug Dillinger, people say he won the biggest races and things of that nature and so on and so forth. But man, hey, you know, Doug was, hey, there's a lot of people that's dug into their ways from a certain time in life. And it's hard to get them out of it. But as long as a man respects me, I'm going to respect him. And Doug Dillinger always gave me respect. And people like that all over the world, people like that you deal with on a daily basis. You know, as long as you don't disrespect me in my face, I'm the coolest fucking guy in the world. And that's why I've said certain things about certain people on this show. Because they were disrespectful to your face. And it's hard for people to have respect for people like that. So, you know, it is what it is, man. That's life. That's America. So, I've learned how to deal with it, and I don't have anything bad to say about Doug Dillinger. Have you heard the story of two brothers named Rick and Scott? They don't do drugs, and they always on top. That's a good one. Who said that?
Steve Lynn.
Steve Lynn. I like that. I like that one, Steve. L. Parker, La Parker, El Dandy. 555 deal. What's that one about? La Parker and El Dandy were good friends of mine, bro. I'm gonna tell you, man. Me and the Luchadors used to have a lot of fun, bro. We had a lot of fun. You know what? I started to, when people bring up stuff like that, it makes me think about the camaraderie that we had in the dressing room with so many guys, man. That I think I missed that more. Josh 406, who was your favorite promotion to work with? My favorite promotion to work with was probably Global. When we were just getting our first push, we had a good time. Thoughts on Latino World Order? It was watered down, but hey, they were trying to do what they had to do something to be on the show. That's how it goes. Cornette versus Russo. You know something? I'm trying to get to the bottom of that. Like I told you guys earlier, I ain't through with Vince Russo. I'm not through with this dude, bro. You know, I'm not through with this dude. Vince Russo, and he knows it. And Vince Russo is more afraid of me than he'll ever be of Jimmy Cornette. You believe that? And I'm like I said, he got to take out no restraining order for me, because I'll let him. I ain't gonna let you know something, but I'm not gonna let you say some of the things that you do about old Stevie Ray. And brother, that's going to be an ongoing saga. I'm not through with this guy, because back in the day we had some disagreements, and we're going to get to the bottom of them. That's what we do when you got this kind of forum to do, and we want the fans to be a part of it, and the fans to choose sides. It is what it is. Elijah Lawson, speaking of McGregor and De La Hoya, would you consider a boxing MMA? I actually used to box when I was a younger guy. So I love boxing, man. I was always a huge boxing fan, and a lot of boxers right now are my friends. Some of my best friends that I hang out with, like Reggie Johnson, former middleweight and super middleweight champion of the light heavyweight and middleweight champion of the world. You know, he's one of my very best friends. We talk, I don't know, 2-3 days a week. You know, boxing was always my first love, man, when it came to combat sports. But yeah, I love boxing. You know, Ronnie Shields, who was a great boxer in his day, who's now one of the top trainers in the world, who's trained everybody. Another one of my best friends, you know. And hey, that's the way I roll, brother. They're going to be coming on the show. They're going to be coming on the show, so stay tuned for that. What else do we have here? ICP. Did you get along with ICP? Who was ICP?
The Insane Clown Posse?
Yeah, they were cool guys. I love those guys, man. They were cool guys, man. You know, to be celebrities from something else and coming into our world, the thing is they had the utmost respect for the guys. And they were really fun to talk to, man. They were really cool guys, man. I love ICP, man. They're good guys. Can you get over more with a good gimmick or being a good wrestler? It all depends, man, on how you're pushed. It all depends on what's behind it. Because wrestling is professional wrestling is so subjective. And it changes with the wind. So it's hard to put your finger on a question like that. But I think that's a great question. And if you ask that question to 5 different people, each one is going to give you a different answer. So, great question, though. Diaz versus Woodley. Who you got? Is Diaz got anything else in the tank? Because I'm going to tell you right now, Tyrone Woodley hits like a professional boxer. This guy got power in both hands. Both hands. And we're getting with people, and we're going to try to get some of these guys on the show. I would love to have Woodley on the show. Would love to have Diaz on the show. And those are the kind of people I'm talking about that we're working with right now to try to get somebody to have these guys on the show and we can really talk about it. And the guy himself, myself, Stevie Ray, was going to ask the tough questions, not the pussy questions, not the questions that everybody got to, beat around the bush and tread softly. The tough questions. That's what's going to happen right here on Stand Up for Greatness, so stay tuned. Keep those questions like that coming because that's what I need. That's what I need to take this show to the next level. Hey, brother. Love you for that. What else we got here? Sting, cocky prick. Sting was always cool with me. Never seen him cocky at all. I can say that about a lot of people, but I never can say it about Sting. Never had that kind of encounter with the guy. Did Booker steal the Spinner-Rooney from... Hell no, brother. I can't do no goddamn Spinner-Rooney. That's just some shit he had been doing since he got in the wrestling business. And then Mark Madden actually started calling it the Spinner-Rooney. It's something he had been doing in wrestling matches forever. And it didn't really take off until it got a name from Mark Madden. Mark Madden started saying Spinner-Rooney, Spinner-Rooney, and next thing you know, it's all over the place. Those are the kind of things that happen in professional. He was doing that 7 years before anybody ever said anything about it. It's funny how that works. Rick George, Vince McMahon is a racist. Okay, thanks for telling me that because I have no idea. Paul, favorite bodybuilder. My favorite bodybuilder is probably Lee Haney. Lee Haney. And that's because I met Lee. I was a big fan of Lee back in the day, and I met him in the airport in Atlanta one day, man. We had a real good conversation. I didn't even know he knew who I was. It was kind of cool, man. Lee Haney, real good guy, man. Real good guy. And a real true champion. Not like these guys today that just so blowed up, their stomach sticking out to here. They're big as hell, but they got no symmetry whatsoever. The lines are gone. The symmetry is gone. Just this balance is gone. That's what I hate about bodybuilding today. I'm still a big fan of bodybuilding because I still work out myself on a daily basis. But the bodybuilding has really gotten out of hand now, man. It's just like who's the biggest guy? And how can you be the biggest guy? How can you get a Sandow trophy? And that is about how beautiful the body is. Even the man can have a beautiful body. And that era with Lee Haney, that was the end of the beautiful body. Now it's just a big muscular body. Big difference. Why did local promotion help? Why don't local promotion help each other out? Should wrestling characters go back to stereotype? Lee Haney was the man, perfect body. You know, I think a lot of people are just divisive because of that is how the world is now. Nobody, you know, and I used to talk with the guys around Houston where I live. Why are you guys got heat with each other? When I came up and we worked with promotions, this was in the late 80s, early 90s, other little promotions around town worked with each other. Nobody, you know what, you wasn't even making any money. How are you going to tell somebody, you know, I don't want you working with somebody else, you know, and you don't have a TV show or anything like, you're not paying anybody. We got paid $5 back in those days. $5 you know? And we did 30-minute matches back in those days. And I was glad to get $5 because I love the sport that much. Why people don't work with each other, you know, because they look at television and they see how things are and they try to emulate it. Everybody today, from little kids in elementary schools to grown people that look at images every day on television, everybody's into the images that they see today. Nobody studies anything anymore, which is a goddamn shame. So I wish they would. It'll be a better place and they could help each other out. Kenny Roberts, Kevin Nash, likes to lie. I wouldn't know anything about that, but thanks for the information. What was that, man? What are your thoughts on UCLA basketball incident? I think that is what I'm talking about, man. You know these three kids came from better families than that. If they got scholarships to go to UCLA. But then you get over in a foreign country, a communist country at that, and then you want to shoplift, which means they probably been shoplifting their whole adult lives. It's fun to do. These people, all these guys probably come from affluent families. Well, you know the ball kid does. Hell, his brother just signed a multi-million-dollar contract. They just moved in a big, giant-ass fucking house. Why you gotta steal? You know why you gotta steal? Because it's fucking fun to do. It's stupid. That is what's wrong with young people today. They're fucking stupid. Because they look at images. Everything is about the next party, the next bitch, the next drug, the next whatever. That's young America today. And if those are the only values that you have, shit, shoplifting, some sunglasses and shit, that shit is cool. You know, hell, I've been there. Whatever the fuck ever. But that's my thoughts on that. And it's unfortunate, man, because shit, brother. Young people just need to be a little bit smarter these days, man. And hopefully this will teach a lot of people what not to do, and what not to be. Is PN News, what's that? Is PN News the most jamminest rapper ever? I don't know. He might be one of them. He was good. You know what? I forgot about him. Yeah. Who was your favorite Batman? Shit. Probably Adam West. Probably the original in the TV show in the 60s. Probably Adam West, man. You know, so that was my favorite. Stevie, was it you and Booker coming for that nigga Hogan or just Book? Neither one of us, brother. That was a gaffe. I don't remember. I knew we had something to talk about Hogan about, but it got kind of messed up, bro. So I guess it was both of us, you know. Yeah. So what are we looking at? I think we pretty much covered the gambit, huh? What do you think? Or do you want to go through a couple more?
You want to take one last one?
Yeah, let's take one last one. Let me see a good one. It's awesome, man. Are you or have you ever thought about being a motivational speaker? I think at the very least you would have a great positive impact on junior high schools and high. You know, it's funny you should ask that because I'm getting into more of that because I've done a few schools and things of that nature. I never really wanted to, but a lot of people keep telling me I should. So I'm going to probably be going in that direction here in the near future. Appreciate you asking.
Last one.
If there are reasons WWE crowd sounds quiet like church, old Nitro shows had great crowd. You know what? I just honestly believe that's the evolution of professional wrestling nowadays. Back in the 90s, people were so... If you think it was loud on television, imagine walking out the crowd, walking out from a curtain. Brother, some of the time I couldn't hear. My ears hurt. The place was crazy. And I just think the crowd was so... I think the crowd was so enamored with seeing the stars. Because you got to remember, like back in the 90s, we were bigger than life. Everybody didn't look the same. We just have a different uniform on. Everybody was, you know, like myself, 6'5", 285. And guys were big. I mean, we were big people. We were very, you know, we walked through an airport. People just like stunned. So I think that's just the evolution of professional wrestling. I think the crowds now are really, you know, there was no social media and things like that back then. So for you to get close to a professional wrestler, you had to pay the money to go see them live. And people really appreciated that. And it was a big deal. Those kids went crazy. And you know something? This is the first time I really thought about that until you brought it up. I don't know who that was on that question, but hey, man, thanks for that. That's real. That's real. I don't know why that is. But that's another thing is the buildings were packed. They were packed to the bone. So thanks for that question. But hey, man, this is our comeback show. And I said I wasn't going to answer but a couple of questions tonight, and you guys forced me to answer a litany of questions. Okay. But I do appreciate the questions, man. I do appreciate everybody chiming in. Even Chet Michaels. I even appreciate him chiming in. Hey, we need idiots like that. As long as we got idiots, brother, we know the world is a sane place. But at the end of the day, you got to realize something. Stand Up for Greatness is here for the fans. Stand Up for Greatness is here for the people that appreciate good content, that appreciate what we are bringing to the table. It ain't just about pro wrestling. I tell people all the time, pro wrestling is what I did. Pro wrestling is not who I am. Who I am is a man of the people. Who I am is a person that's going to be at WrestleCade November the 25th, along with Sabu, along with Bruce Pritchard, along with Ivory Robin, along with who? Evil Lease. You know, I didn't book them. I'm just promoting them. You know, and along with I Dream of Genie. Wait a minute. Who is I Dream of Genie?
Melissa Coates.
Oh, Melissa Coates. I'm sorry. You know, she's gonna be there. And last but not least, who's that? Kylie, who's a good friend of mine. I keep forgetting her name. I'm sorry. I'm not very good at, you know, promoting other people. I'm good at promoting myself, though. Just remember, old Ray Dog will be there, okay? Saturday, November 25th, WrestleCade, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. It's going to be on, ooh-wee, like a steaming pot of next bones. Letting you know this is our comeback show. Matt Petoskey is not here. He had mental exhaustion. He's in the hospital, room 235. Somebody give him a shot. Ben Taub Hospital. That's Ben Taub Hospital. Or hit him up on Twitter at the Matt Petoskey. Hey, hit him up. Let him know you're thinking about him. We want him back on the show, but we don't need him back. But we want him back. You know, I'm not going to be like that. You know, we want him back. And hey, pre-sale tickets, WrestleCade, TitleMatchWrestling.com. If you want to drop us a dime, if you want to give us a dime, support us with the tips. And like I said, brother, I'm bringing you the good content. I'm bringing you everybody who's anybody if I get a chance to. Title Match puts me out there. Stand Up for Greatness. Greatness is the name of the game. They call me Stevie Ray. Somebody holler at your boy.